What's up, Rob? Thank you for letting me do this video, by the way. I appreciate it. um, so yeah, first off, Rob, thank you very much for reaching out. I appreciate that so much. That's awesome. I'm glad that you liked what you heard when you came across Vices, and yeah, just big thanks to GigRadar for even thinking about us generally. You know what I mean? That's really cool. We're super underground, and so we do really appreciate that. Buckle in. Here we go. So, yeah, band name With Conviction. We started in 2000 and like the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. It was me, founding member, and Kyle, our bass player, beardy guy. Um, and we were kind of like we were the two founding members. And we started off. It was me and him, and we ended up working with a guitarist named Levi. And then we also had Jamie come through. At that time, I was the drum player and the singer. And then we had a different lead screamer named Terrence, and essentially it started off there, and we evolved into what we are today, where I'm playing or I'm singing and screaming and doing like producing, composing, and yeah, we have AJ on the drums now. AJ House, fantastic guy. We have Keelan Russell playing the guitar, and Kyle Johnson's still on the bass there. So. It's fantastic. I really love the dynamic that we have right now, and so yeah, everything that kind of happened throughout the years, the member changes and things like that, whether they're for positive or negative, reasons. Everything happened. Everything happened for a reason, and here we are today. So this is my cat Boots. He's just gonna be a part of this. You know what I mean? He's here. He loves to hang out, especially when I'm talking to the camera. Like as soon as I start talking to the camera, he's on my lap. So, um, where are you from? We are from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Uh, the great north, if you will. It's actually been a pretty chill winter. When I say chill, I mean like relaxed. We did have a few pretty cold days this year, like negative 40 degrees or something like that, but nothing crazy. And yeah, so how did you guys get together? We started off on the ass end of a different band that me and Kyle were in. So another band that I founded before this one was called Any Last Regrets. We were a bit of like a goth rock, uh, I don't know, band, whatever. It was me, my brother Mac, um, Kyle Johnson, and we had a few other guitar members too. But the final guitar member would have been Mitch Miller at the time. And yeah, so that band kind of ended because me and my brother would always butt heads on like creative direction and stuff. And so we both wanted to go do our own things. Me and Kyle wanted to get heavier. And yeah, so we did. We started with Conviction, and we kind of had to start from scratch, like writing songs and stuff. We had to figure out how to do that all over again. If you listen to our discography from beginning to end, you can just see um, that we had no clue what we were doing, for the longest time. And we slowly constructed that clue, if you will, along the way. And now here we are in 2021 with our latest release being Vices, November of 2020. And we feel like we're standing on our own 2 feet a lot better now. So that's that. Chaotic, nostalgic, and modern, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Um, I say chaotic because it's like it's heavy music, and the subject matter is usually it kind of stems from my past and like the stories and things like that that I have from my past, whether it be like the drug abuse, the crime, and just all that stuff. So chaotic for sure because we're trying to emote something. You know what I mean? We call ourselves a emo core band, so we're trying to emote some sort of whether it be pain or hopelessness or hope or whatever, right? So yeah, those are definitely the three words that I would use to describe my music. We did release Vices at the end of last year, and in fact, it's our best release to date as far as like the numbers and how it was received by our peers in the local scene and whatnot. yeah, like just all around, I think it was a better song than we had ever written before. But on top of that, like we put our brains into the marketing, and we really paid attention to how we did a release this time. We've been learning all along the way, and now we're getting to a point where it's at least getting better. It's getting better. So, but literally, if you look at the release of Vices and the numbers on Spotify, for instance, for Vices, it's a larger number than like pretty much the rest of our music combined, almost. Almost. So it's doing well, and I'm very happy about that. And we're hoping, we have new music coming out, but we're hoping to continue the Vices train because people have been hearing it and going, "Oh wow, that's unique." You know what I mean? Like people have been like, it's familiar, it's nostalgic, it's heavy when it needs to be, it's chaotic, and I forget the third word that I use to describe it. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so we're very happy about that, to be honest. I think that all has to do with our new approach to songwriting, which has been fun. If you haven't heard it yet, as long as you're into heavy music, I think there's going to be something in it for you. Um, and the funny thing is, even if you're not really into heavy music, I've had a lot of comments of people being like, it kind of reminds me of like uh, this pop song or this dubstep song or this whatever, right? There's like certain elements of these things in there. So we really do try. Like my production when I started being a producer and a composer, it was in like 2012, and I started off just like making shitty beats on FL Studio 10, and it was just like dubstep and random electronic music. And so now that I kind of have my hands on the wheels, if you will, a little bit more in the production and composition side of this band, we're really starting to infuse a lot of different influences, which has just been really nice. Like we always have had many different influences, but now I think we have a much smarter approach for writing and recording and stuff. So it's been good to see the growth there. I don't know if I answered that properly, but whatever. Expect it to be all over the place. If you've never listened to With Conviction before, it's going to be a journey. You know what I mean? I suggest starting at our newest and working our way back. Because if you start at the beginning, you're going to shut it off before you get to the end. You know what I mean? But as a whole, we do have a very mixed bag of directions because, we've never really wanted to pick a direction, nor have we been talented enough, songwriters in the past to really have a direction, if you will. You know what I mean? We just wrote what felt good, and we still do, to be honest. Like our next song coming out is going to be not like Vices in the sense where it's our brutal heavy track, but where it's going in this direction again, right? And then the song after that is going to be like the heaviest thing we've ever released, and we'll probably continue going in that direction. It's just like I said, maybe those three words that I used to describe. It's kind of chaotic. It's heavy. It's emo. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. There's something for all kinds of heavy music listeners and even some of the softer stuff too. Everyone. Heck yes. I did kind of dive into this a little bit earlier, but a lot of it comes from stories from my past. I do a lot of the lyric writing, but also some stories from just like a general viewpoint of growing up. When I was a kid, like when I was like 15, 14, 13, up till maybe I don't know 17 years old, whatever. But I just got very lost. You know what I mean? Like figuring out who I was, like I came from like a homeschooled Christian family, growing up in the bush, if you will, of Ontario, Canada, to moving to Alberta at the age of like 13, and like my first day of like real school, I was 14 years old, and I sat in the classroom, and like I don't know, things just kind of shook me up, and I had a really hard time figuring out who I was. I think I had some undiagnosed weird ADHD, some OCDs, some fucking just a lot of weird things, you know what I mean, that I had to work through without really knowing what they were because, like, again, very conservative Christian upbringing, also liberal too, though. I don't know. My parents were just weird hippie Christian, people in the best way possible, and I'm very thankful for the way that they raised me. But yeah, that kind of like the story of my upbringing and the emotions that I felt while growing up and just trying to figure myself out up until the age of like 20. that's basically what we write about. We have Chemical Camouflage. It's a song about literally the night that I overdosed on ecstasy. I was 15 in my basement with my brother and some friends, and we just took way too much. You know what I mean? Like it was my second time ever really doing hard drugs, uh, and I didn't know anything about what was in ecstasy, nor did I care to know. I just wanted to escape reality. You know what I mean? I was looking for a way out, and I found one. And we almost died that night, my brother especially. But yeah, like things were kind of weird, and then we have Vices. While that is a song also that could be really like tied to drugs because it's all the lyrics Vices weighing me down. I can't stop thinking about you. But it also ties to other things too. Like there's tons of you know crutches that we as human beings utilize in a negative sense too. But I mean, yeah. So overlying theme of music would just be like stories from our past and how we felt while we were going through them. And I'm hoping as time goes on, I get to talk about the evolution of getting out of that, and then the aftermath of being out. You know what I mean? Like, because getting out is a whole long process. It's probably a longer process than being in it. There's just so much emotion the whole way through. So yeah, I mean, I'm specifically talking about drugs and confusion, haziness of the brain, mental health issues, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's definitely uh, that's definitely the theme. Also, we did Alium Terra is an outlier. Alium Terra is a Latin. It's a Latin word. Alium meaning other, and Terra meaning Earth, other world. We wrote a song basically about aliens and space time, our place in this universe, in this solar system. It's that's a bit of like a reflective piece, if you will. So I mean, yeah. Well, I can speak for myself, anyways, because I am me, but I can't speak for the other guys. But for me, like I don't know, especially lately, I think some of the guitar stuff that I've been writing has been heavily influenced by Gojira unknowingly. Um, I think it's just kind of my playing style kind of fits into that a lot. But I don't know. I also love bands like Bring Me the Horizon. I love even their current and their old shit. I listen to it all. I listen to lots of pop music these days. I listen to lots of metalcore. I listen to a lot. Like, Amir, their newest album is dope. Like I'm kind of all over the place, but what inspires me is like really a collective. Heck, I even like the new MGK pop punk stuff. So don't at me, but whatever. I'm just saying. I listen to a broad variety of music, and it all kind of inspires me to, um, I guess blend a lot of different aspects from these things and put them into heavy music. You know, I think. I think that metalcore and like post-hardcore and like all the cores and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like my more emo side of that spectrum, I think our ticket to thriving is to, blend things together. And also, I just can't help it because I like if I hear something that I like, I want it in there and I want to make it heavy too. So whatever. So yeah, that's kind of that. Heck, even some of my biggest influences are Skrillex for heck's sake. So I think it really depends. We're quite skewed. I have a very unique experience in this scene where I either have people that really love me or they really hate me. You know what I mean? And a lot of that comes from my past and the wonderful mistakes that I've made along the way. But I think there's the flip side of that coin where there are a lot of people that really truly do support a guy out there trying to make a change for his life and his community and the people around him. And so the scene is what you make it. The scene is what you make it and what you allow, and how you allow it to affect you. Because there are a lot of cliques, there are a lot of elitists, there are a lot of gatekeepers, um, and 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 they're there for a reason. You know what I mean? They worked hard to be where they are, and I respect them for that. But at the same time, the scene's what you make it, man. You can make your own scene in a scene, and so that's kind of where we're at. I think as far as Canada wide goes, there's lots of people that are gonna have great experiences starting up bands, especially in today, like starting a band in 2021. Think you're gonna have a really good time hopping into the scene now, because people that are currently in the scene, or the people that were in my scene when I was, whatever. What I'm getting at is, like, old is going out and new is coming in. I think new people starting bands are going to have a good time, because the younger generations are becoming a lot more accepting of others, and, growth, change, blah blah blah, whatever, right? So, yeah, if you're starting a band in Canada right now and you're talented, you're willing to put the money and the time and, market and have, a good product underneath you, I think you're going to be fine. Yeah, so would really like to do some sort of tour. Um, I don't know what that looks like. If that means we have to go to a different part of the world, or if that means that there's some sort of east to west thing that we can do here in Canada. I don't really know, but I know what I do know for sure is new music. You know what I mean? New music videos, more photo shoots. We content. One thing that we like to do is a live stream every couple of weeks from our Facebook and our Twitch and stuff. And I've been trying to stay in contact with our Patreons, give them some unique content to have, and realistically right now, like, the number one thing that we know that we can do is create content. It's very tough because, us being in an emo band, we're all very emotional people and, like, sensitive and, like, affected by the things around us, like getting laid off work, and, our entire realities shifting and changing thanks to, the sickness that is coronavirus. So, like, I even got this on me right now, just so I can be safe with you guys. But yeah, like, our world has been shaken up right now, and I think it's not done being changed, if we will. But there are definitely ways that bands can thrive in today's market, in today's climate, in today's economy, blah blah blah. Right? So we're doing the best we can to stay on top, stay relevant, and stay on our game as we wait for the opportunities to play events come through. We in 2020 we thought we were done playing shows. We thought we weren't going to be able to do it, and we ended up getting to play a Alberta Health and Safety approved, uh, you know Decimate Metal Fest 2.0, and it was a great time. The restrictions, like, while I can't jump around in the crowd with my wireless microphone with all the people, there's at least we were able to do something, right? And I think as long as the world continues to play, I don't know, play it safe, play it smart, get over this coronavirus thing, and I don't know, have a new normal, then we'll be able to get back into touring. We'll be able to get back into playing events. So we're just waiting for that time to happen. But while waiting, we're also not waiting, because we have to be able to make progress and stay on top of things. So it's a unique opportunity to not have to worry about having money to tour right now, and just spend all your money on the studio and the songs, the mixing, the mastering, the marketing. Get the best product you can get out there. So that's kind of where we're at. We do have a new song coming out, and we're doing a very untraditional release. It's going to be released to our Patreon within the next 2 weeks, and basically it's going to stay there for probably a few months until we wait, because we're waiting for an official release. This song has been a long time in the making. A lot of our closer fans, aka the people on our Patreon, they've been waiting for it for a long time, and so we're just going to give it to them. And as we wait to officially release it, to the public on Spotify and iTunes and stuff like that. So that's basically it. What I mean? If you really want to get our new single, you can go follow us on Patreon. Also, I mean, please hit us up on Instagram at WthCnvctn and over on TikTok as well. I think it's Sabian X with Conviction. It's just my stupid face reacting to things sometimes and stuff. And on Facebook as well, please. That's kind of where that's been our hub for the longest time, of information of how to get a hold of With Conviction and stuff. But the times are changing. We're trying to branch out into different areas too. So also Twitter. So I appreciate you guys. Like I said, Rob, thank you so much. I appreciate you reaching out to us. If there's anything else you need, let me know. Much love. Thank you, GigRadar and GigRadar listeners, viewers. Stay awesome. See ya.